Okay, so I've been asked to tell a scary story for the channel Terror Child. I've become pretty cool with her. She's a real nice girl. So she asked me to tell a story. I'm doing that. She's having something. Let's do that. Okay. Um. Yeah. So and yes, it is related to the children's book there. This takes place around 2006. My family and I. That's myself, my siblings, my cousins, my uncle, uh, my auntie, my grandma all went down to Kentucky to see my grandpa and my great grandma. And she's who sent me this book as a child. Like that was basically most of how I knew her. She would send stuff to myself, my siblings, my cousins. Um, I I met her once. She came here to Indiana at a family gathering. She was real nice. And in 2006, met her again. Um, again, she was real nice, and as it turns out, hilarious. I'll get back to that. So yeah, she sent me this book, Willie the Wimp, as a kid. And as you can probably guess, my name and the build of this monkey, my siblings had a lot of fun at my expense. The story, and ironically enough, is a story that's anti-bullying. So yeah, that's how we do it. So we're sent stuff, and we went down there to see her. The trip was supposed to be 3, 4 days. It turned into like a 2 week deal. Um, and here's how. So I went down there, and I stayed at my grandpa's house, and his girlfriend, his long-time girlfriend, so long that he literally calls her my grandma. I don't argue. Um, she had these dolls that she liked to collect. And I stayed there. I remember I slept on the couch the first day, and she had a doll that looked a lot like this doll. And I swear I used to walk around, but I didn't say anything. I don't scare her. She's like, okay, sure. Just keep watching cable till I fall asleep. The next day, we went to my great grandma's house. And before we even got near the house, they were talking about uh, the house itself, the reputation, procedure, things happen there. And then we get there, and I remember there was a tree in her yard with a picnic table under it. Looked a lot like this. And my grandpa, he wouldn't go near it. Like he was telling us about her house, but he avoided that whole area, that tree. And I'm like, why? And he's like, that tree likes to rain snakes, which naturally made me more interested because I like snakes. My family does not. But yeah, and it never happened for me. But I just sat down at the table, nothing. Go in the house, and I meet one of my cousins, and we're talking to her. And this is where my great grandma is. We're talking to her, and my cousin starts giving us the tour of her house. And we go upstairs, and she's like, "Yeah, that's where Grandma Grace sleeps. That's my great grandma, great grandma Grace or Grandma Grace." She's like, "That's where Grandma Grace sleeps. Here's where I sleep. Uh, if you don't bother the ghosts, they won't bother you." You play The Sims? Like, what? Hold on, ghosts? And she's like, "Yeah, it happens at night, but again, you don't bother them, they won't bother you." Well, that night I wound up staying there. Again, I slept on the couch, which was next to the restroom. Fun. Um, I wake up and I was probably already up watching TV. I'm a night person, but I get up to use the restroom, and my curiosity, I'm gonna go upstairs and see what she was talking about. And as I go up the stairs, it was like Resident Evil. Resident Evil. Like every step seemed slower, and it got colder. I, I can't do too much cold because of what I have, but I went up there, and I swear it was like I stepped into the past. I saw It was like I stepped into one of those old speakeasies from like the 20s, 30s. Like people were carrying on, having a good time, drinking, dancing, whatever. And they looked at me, but they kept doing what they were doing. And I could see through, they were transparent. I could see through them. Like literally my cousin, I could see her in her bed asleep. But at the same time, I was back in time. It was an experience. And I just stood there watching until it got too cold for me to stay. So I went back downstairs, used the restroom. That was that. The next day, I stayed at my grandpa's house again. This time in the bedroom. There was this picture of The Rock on the back of it from the 90s. It was awesome. Which means more dolls. Now, in between leaving my My grandma Grace, by the way, she had made food for everybody there. She was 78 years old, still doing that. It's a massive family. And I remember we were sitting there in her living room, and I go, Grandpa, we're supposed to meet your mom, right? And he goes, that's her. She goes, yeah, I am. And we start laughing. Because she looked notably different before when I met her. She had, she was bigger and lighter, like the almost yellow afro. This time she was notably smaller and darker. Like, turns out she had been sick. And in between that visit and going to my grandpa's house, she got rushed to the hospital. And we went to see her. And she was on, I guess, a ventilator. It was doing all the breathing for her. And she had a smile on her face. We'll circle back. But yeah, so after leaving the hospital, we go to my grandpa's house where I would sleep in the bedroom. And he wakes me up the next morning and says this sentence with a great big smile. Hey, I made some food and your grandma died. Like, wait, what? Like, which one? Because again, his girlfriend, my actual grandma, Grandma Grace. So, like, which one? She goes, your Grandma Grace. I'm like, what? Yeah, and that's why the trip evolved from like a 3 or 4 day vacation to like a 2 week deal. Yeah, from a family reunion to celebrating my Grandma Grace's life, I guess. So yeah, I got up, got ready, got some food, and I remember heading out. And again, my grandpa's girlfriend, she loves these dolls. There was these two in particular that I did not like, and it turns out no one did, especially children. There was a male doll and a lady doll. The male doll had blue eyes. The lady doll had green eyes. I remember I stopped in front of them, and they were both sitting in chairs like the doll in this picture. They were sitting in chairs like this. Um, and I just stopped and looked at them. They were freaky. And I turned around, and I swear I saw the lady doll sitting in my grandpa's chair with a bloody knife with red eyes, like with that Chucky look in her eyes. I turned back around, just back of the chair. I turned around again. Grandpa's chair is empty. I just go back outside, like, yeah. At the time, I wasn't wearing my glasses, so I thought maybe that was it. I don't know. Fast forward, we're leaving. Come back here to get more clothes because again, things changed. And all the grandchildren, myself, my siblings, my cousins, were gathered around these dolls. And the adults keep telling us, "Hey, get your clothes, so we can go get some more. Pack up." And you know how it is. You're not trying to leave grandma, grandpa's house. So we're like, oh. And then we crowd around these dolls, and we just start sharing stories about them. And my brother, he did something stupid, like I spelled the lady dog's butt, and the male dog kicked me. And we start like joking, well, you don't mess with nobody's girl. And then before all of our eyes, the he had picked up the lady dog. The male dog turned like this in the seat before all of our eyes. I've never run that fast. I know I could run that fast. I'm historically not quick at all. I mean, I swear I teleported out of that house. All of us did at the same time. We went to get the adults. They were like, shouldn't you be packing up? We told them. And my grandpa's girlfriend, she was like, what, the dogs sitting in the chairs? Like, yes. It's like, I got those at Pier 1. They're like, well, something's up with them. And so, yeah, we went back in the house very cautiously, packed up, and yeah, came back here, got some more clothes. Just right to our dad's house, told him, he's like, yeah, it's crazy down there. So that was the story of how I saw moving dolls multiple times. Yeah, thank you for watching.